Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to my January 2018 monthly goals report, where every single month I give you guys a detailed update of exactly where I'm at with the goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year. Now, right now, this is a live video. So if you guys are joining in live right now on YouTube, then post in the live chat, post your name, where you're from. Love to see and hear who's joining us today. Hopefully you guys have had an awesome start to 2018. I can't believe we're already now into February. Time flies by fast. But I'm excited to share with you guys to kickstart off my monthly goals report for this year. As you guys might know, if you've followed me for a while, then this is something I've done now consistently every single month for years. I find I get so much benefit, so much value for myself to reflect on my goals, check to see how I'm doing. If I'm off track, I can get myself back on track. And that's one of the core things that's allowed me to achieve what I achieve year after year. So hopefully I can inspire you guys in this process, be transparent, share my journey with you guys as I've done now for the last few years. And hopefully you guys are doing well as with your goals too, that you haven't just set your goals and already forgotten about them. And I think there's a study that 95% of people within 2 weeks of setting their New Year's resolutions have already given up. They've already forgotten about them. And that's partly because they don't have a system. They don't have a system to check in on their goals, and they didn't even properly set the goals. They didn't go through a goal setting workshop. They didn't really think about what they really want, why they want it, and set up a system to ensure that they're going to achieve them. So we'll talk about that maybe a little bit later, but what I'm going to do is, I see people joining in right now. Give me one sec, guys. I'm going to go through my goals. There's a link in the description to the blog post that has a list of my goals and an update on them. I'm going to go through each one of them one by one. There is a lot of them, a lot more than last year, so it might take me a bit of time doing this, but I'll try to really focus on the goals that I did make progress in January so far. And then I'm going to open it up to Q&A. So if you guys want to stick around for the next 30 or 45 minutes or so, then we'll open it up to Q&A and I'll answer whatever questions that you guys have, okay? I see people joining in from all over. We've got Crystal here. We've got someone from Australia, Jordan, Mustafa from London, Edgar from Mexico. Cool, I was just in Mexico, I was in Punta Mita for an entrepreneurial mastermind group. Isaac from the United States. We've got Richard from Virginia, good to see you. We got Sat, we've got people from all over. We got Ella from Philippines, the UK. Awesome, guys. Good to see everyone here. We got Steve here. Good to see you, Steve. Lisa from Germany. Fantastic, guys. Well, let's dive right into it. I'm going to pull up my goals. Like I said, I've got this linked in the description on YouTube. And I'm going to go through each one by one, guys. First goals are financial goals. So my financial goal for 2018 is to make $3.5 million in revenue in Canadian currency. And that's doing so while working less and, of course, making a huge impact in the lives of millions of people. January was a great month financially, over $305,000 in income. And a lot of that, though, was payments that was from last year. So, for example, in end of 2017, we did a Boxing Week sale, so I didn't get paid for money earned from that till January, as well as different affiliate commissions, promotions, etc. Regardless, though, that's a significant amount of money. I'm excited for this year, and I believe that I can surpass what I did last year. And by the way, I'm not going to go too much in depth into that. If you guys want all the details of that, then it's there for you guys on the blog post. Next is I'll easily have a $6 million Canadian dollar investment assets. So that includes cash, stocks, bonds, ETFs, real estate, cryptocurrencies, etc. That's not including my net worth of the assets of my business and things like that, because it's very hard to put an evaluation on it. And actually updating this goal was fairly challenging because I had to really go deep. Some of my investment assets, like stocks, cash, very easy to determine the value of that. But I do have some investments, one of which is in a private company in the United States that I own a certain number of shares of, and I'm not totally clear of the value of those shares right now because that business has obviously grown since I invested in that about, I think 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And the only way to really know is to get an evaluation done. Same thing with the real estate property that I own as well, that I bought about 5 years ago. I haven't done an evaluation of it to know what currently the value of is that and how much the equity has gone up in that place, but I am actually refinancing that this year, and we'll need to get an evaluation done for that. I'm actually pulling out some of the equity from that property. But anyways, the total amount that I've calculated, which is probably about 95% accurate, is $5.2 million. So that's including my stock investment portfolio, which is something I've shared as a goal that I set for last year, surpassing over $3 million just in that. I do hold a significant amount of money in cash right now too, part of which, because this number will change because I'm gonna have a hefty tax bill for 2018, paying taxes owed for 2017. I do pay my taxes on an installment plan, a monthly plan, where you kind of estimate or they predict based on previous year what the amount of money would be, and they deduct taxes every month from that in my business. But I did make more money in 2017 than I did in 2016. So I expect to make sure, I gotta have money available for that too. Now, I'm already pretty close to achieving this goal at 6 million, and I will easily achieve it for this year. In fact, I was gonna bump it up, but there's actually a little bit of a wrench in this plan that it's a big hit that I'm gonna have to take this year, and it's around me potentially leaving Canada. So this is something I haven't really talked about before, but right now I'm in the process of exploring becoming a non-resident of Canada and to basically become a resident elsewhere, travel around, and eventually immigrate to the United States. However, leaving Canada is actually a fairly challenging process for someone like myself because Canada wants to charge something called the departure tax or an exit tax. Canada taxes their people based on their residency, not on citizenship, whereas in the United States, you guys get taxed on being a US citizen. So if I give up my residency, then I have to pay a departure tax, and that's going to be based on any capital gains of a lot of my investments and assets. So I'm expecting just leaving Canada to have a significant tax of over $1 million, $2 million. Right now I'm working with a tax accounting firm to kind of explore that and different strategies around that as well. But that is obviously going to take a significant hit to my investment portfolio. It's just the price you have to pay to leave the country that you're in. So that's something I'm able to go into more at another point sometime in the future. But overall, I'm happy with how that's going. And once I get more certainty around that, I'll be sure to share with you guys more about that later this year. Okay, moving on to mission and business goals. I'll easily host 12 of my Life Mastery Accelerator monthly mentoring sessions. We did one of those last week on Friday, actually, for the month of January. Oh, sorry, that was February. We've done February now too, but we did early January. That was my goal setting workshop. Just last week, we did one inside the Life Mastery Accelerator. It was all about how to create consistency in your life and take lasting action towards your goals. Amazing content. If you guys struggle with consistency, being on track with things, following through on what you said, the strategies that I share there, I've never shared in that level of depth. And will definitely make sure that you are a consistent person. So that's inside the Life Mastery Accelerator. That's been going awesome. Next goal is I'll easily host 12 online business mastery Accelerator monthly mentoring sessions. That's where I focus on online business strategies. We just did for February, but we also did for January too. The February one will be for my February goals report, but we're on track with that. We recently just went into search engine optimization, how to rank #1 in Google, as well as previously in January discussing the new Project Life Mastery redesign, everything that went into the new website design and how you guys can create your own compelling website as well. So that's been going awesome. Next goal is that I'll easily host at least 2 online business mastery mastermind events love the process, and personally help people build and grow their online business. So right now I'm in the process of determining the dates for that this year. I think I'm going to host one in Vancouver, Canada, I'm deciding March or April, probably April, and then hosting one in Los Angeles sometime in December. So right now I'm confirming the dates for that, but I'll probably make an announcement sometime this week if you guys are on my notification list for my events. If you guys want to get notified of any events that I put on, go to projectlifemastery.com/events, put in your name and email, and then I'll send you an email when I have dates or planning different events for the year. Next, I'll easily host the Life Mastery Transformation Seminar. I haven't planned that yet, so not sure quite yet when I'll be doing that. There's a few goals I haven't started yet. I'll just kind of go over them quickly. I'll easily create a new self-development course or online business course. Haven't started that one yet either. I'll easily hire 2 new A players to join my team, help grow Project Life Mastery. Right now, I haven't really started the recruitment process of that, but I've been really refining my method for hiring and getting really clear on who I want to attract into my business, the position, and finding someone that's going to be aligned with that. I've been going through the books Top Grading and Who, which are the top books out there when it comes to hiring. I'm still refining that, but we'll probably focus more on that later in March or for next quarter. I'll easily create a new physical product and launch and sell on Amazon. Haven't started that, still in the planning stage of that right now. I'll easily create and launch the new stephanjames.com. Haven't started that yet either. We're right now still in the process of a few revisions and redesigns to projectlifemastery.com. So right now my team and the web developer that we use are pretty focused on that. So we're gonna make sure we finish up projectlifemastery.com before we move on to the next website. I'll easily publish 150 plus videos on the Project Life Mastery YouTube channel, publish 12 for January. So right now that's more than, we've been aiming for about 3 a week. That will allow us to achieve that goal. I've been really happy about some of the videos that have been out there. The response has been great too. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of the videos that we've been putting out. I'll easily publish 200 plus blog posts on projectlifemastery.com. Did 16 total for January. I'll easily have 600,000 YouTube subscribers. At the end of January is 433,000 subscribers. And I'll easily reach at least 14 million views, which is 1.1 million views per month. And for the month of January, we did over 1.1 million, just shy of what the average would need to be. But YouTube channel's growing. Still blows me away when I hear or say those types of numbers. It's hard to believe that I'm able to reach that many people, but it's an incredible honor, blessed to be able to share my message in this way. And I appreciate you guys for being the ones that watch and consume my content. I'll easily reach at least 2 million unique visitors on my blog. We had 112,000 for January. We're still working on a lot of changes to the website, implementing a lot of SEO type stuff. There's actually a lot to it to improve and optimize that. But we've got a really awesome SEO person that's working with us on our team that's been helping us with that process. I'll easily reach at least 1 million podcast listeners, and that's 83,000 listens per month. For the month of January, it was around 50,000. And for health and fitness goals, this is actually where a lot of my focus went into in January, was really spending more time on health and fitness. And one of the goals that I have is that I'll easily get tested to better optimize my physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And I have a list of different tests that I wanted to do. I did 3 tests for the month of January. I did a food sensitivity test, which I highly recommend because there are certain foods that will cause inflammation in your body. And you got to know what those foods are, because if you're consuming certain foods and it's having that reaction in your body, you're sensitive to it, or you have some sort of intolerance to it, then that's going to affect your energy. It's going to affect your ability to lose weight. It's going to affect how you feel, your recovery. It's going to affect so many different factors. And I've done more than one of these tests, but I like to do it every year or so, because oftentimes when you identify certain foods that you have a sensitivity to, you're gonna eliminate it from your diet for at least about 16 weeks, and then try to reintroduce it again and see how your body reacts to it. There's different types of reactions that we also have to foods. Sometimes that's a more immediate reaction, oftentimes within the first 12 hours to 24 hours. Other foods, you might not have a reaction until maybe about 72 hours. So, for example, my girlfriend Tatiana, she did it and she actually found she had a sensitivity to coffee. And even, in a huge way, dairy products as well. She doesn't really have those that often, but when she would get certain reactions in her body. She would even get acne in certain parts of her body as well. So it's good to know that, be aware of it. For me, I only have one sensitivity. The test that I did tested 70 something different foods. The only thing that I had the sensitivity to was green peas. And the only time I'd really eat peas would be pea protein, because I consume a lot of plant-based proteins. And one brand that I would use was called Garden of Life, and they have pea protein in it. So eliminating that, I've switched more to rice protein and hemp protein. And but just knowing that, being aware of that is really important. But also, your sensitivities will be also determined on how good your gut is. You got to repair and heal your gut. Make sure you're taking glutamine, probiotics, things of that nature. So I've got pretty good gut health, which is great. Another test I did was a micronutrient test, which would basically help, will display any deficiencies that I have in certain vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids. So there's a few things. I'll do other videos that will go more in depth to share my results with you guys. But there's some deficiencies I have. What was great about this test too is they measure the plasma, the red blood cells, and the white blood cells. So the plasma would be more immediate short-term deficiency, whereas the red blood cell and white blood cell, they can actually tell if it's been a deficiency for several months. So that's really useful because, right now, for example, I don't have certain supplements that I normally would take, when I'm back at home because I'm traveling right now. And, but just knowing over the long term, knowing that, which supplements that you can take or use to make sure that your body is getting what it needs. They'll even tell you certain vitamins or minerals that you might be at a higher level, you can lower the dose of. So I found that to be really fascinating, as well as I did a bulletproof baseline. So I've been doing a lot of biohacking. If you guys follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, a lot of biohacking at Bulletproof Labs in Venice, California. Right now, by the way, I'm in Sherman Oaks. I've been here in LA for most of January. I've rented a house here in Sherman Oaks, which is in the Valley of Los Angeles. But I spent quite a bit of time in Venice. Tatiana and I were basically almost every day going to Bulletproof Labs, which is like a biohacking gym, as well as training out of Gold's Gym, which is the mecca of bodybuilding. It's where all the old school bodybuilders used to train in Venice as well. But at Bulletproof, they have a baseline test. It's a blood test that is kind of a simple measurement of your total testosterone, your IGF, your DHEA, your cortisol levels, I think, and just a few different hormonal types of things. One also for your level of inflammation in your body too. So that was an okay test, but I've done more in-depth before with Wellness FX. So I'll probably do a more in-depth test because that didn't really give me the best information that I need. For example, testosterone, there's total testosterone and free testosterone, and you gotta have to know what those numbers are, as well as a few other factors in really determining what's going on with your hormones. But otherwise, did some great testing. I've also got this other test. This will be for a totally different video, but I've been going to this place called the Human Garage, which is all about mind and body alignment. And I did a saliva test with them, which I'm excited to get some of the results back for. But that's been a pretty life-changing place. It's also in Venice, California. They do a lot of alignment for a lot of professional athletes, Olympians, celebrities. So I've been getting my body aligned from that, doing a lot of body work. I'll share that with you guys in another video. Anyways, let's move on. I'll easily complete a 30-day sugar detox. Haven't started that yet. I'm actually starting that in February. I'll easily complete a 30-day vegan challenge. Haven't started that one yet either. I'll continue to optimize my health and well-being every month by doing a biohack. So at Bulletproof Labs, I did a lot of things, a lot of different biohacks. One of them is called the Cheat Machine. Is known as the ARX machine. And ARX is adaptive resistance. I forget what it stands for. Anyways, it's like this. It's an amazing machine that allows you to build strength, endurance with an only 15-minute workout. But it's the most intense 15-minute workout you'd probably ever do. So doing that, I also used the Atmospheric Cell Trainer, which basically regulates your body's altitude. You're in this pod, and it goes from maybe 2,000 feet to 6,000 feet. Up and down, constantly modulating the altitude. So your whole cells, all your cells are getting a pretty in-depth workout, detoxifying, really great benefits for detoxing metals from the body too. That's one reason why I've been using that. Red light therapy, cryotherapy, virtual float tank, PEMF, a lot of different biohacks I've been utilizing there. I'm actually planning on reaching out to them to maybe do a video, just kind of sharing some of the equipment and some of the technologies that they have there. So I'll probably have to plan that for the next time that I'm in LA, because I'm going back to Vancouver this weekend for a friend's wedding. But it's been a lot of fun. Next goal, I'll easily continue naturally detoxing mercury and lead from the body. In the process of that, I did a video on that before. I'll easily continue working out 5 times a week to build more lean muscle mass, strength, and endurance. Been on track with that. Mind and emotional goals, complete the 100-day challenge, help me achieve some of my biggest goals. On track with that. That's something I do every single year to kickstart the year. One of my favorite ways of doing that, just giving me that extra edge, extra motivation. I'll easily complete a 30-day morning ritual challenge. I haven't officially started that. I want to do some sort of morning ritual challenge to get other people involved as well, using what I teach inside Morning Ritual Mastery. So I'll probably have an official start date, end date for that, and share that with you guys to hopefully get you guys involved in creating a morning ritual as well. I'll easily complete a 30-day meditation challenge using my Muse and the HeartMath Inner Balance. Haven't started that one yet either. And by the way, I'm going over some of these goals again quick. If you guys want more details of it, then go to projectlifemastery.com. There's a link in the description to the blog post that has more details in each of the goals that I have. Next goal is I'll easily read at least 20 books and continue master every area of my life. And I've read 3 books so far for 2018. One was a book that I finished, which was Scaling Up by Verne Harnish. It's probably one of the best books out there on really scaling and growing your business. It's based on the Rockefeller habits, and especially if you have employees and you have a management team in your business, then that book is really good. And it's very practical too. It's actually going to take me a few months to really implement what I've learned in that book, but it's really powerful, life-changing stuff. The other book, which I'm reading right now, is called Start With Why, and it's by Simon Sinek. And it's about how great leaders inspire everyone to take action. That's also a great book. I've always believed in the power of why, having that purpose behind what you're doing. So that book goes more into that. It's more geared towards business owners and leaders, but I think it's a great read for anyone regardless. And the other book was Naturally Triple Your Testosterone, a guide to hacking your hormones and becoming superhuman. So I've been really into, as you guys know, biohacking, but I wanted to, after doing some measurements, I did some hormone tests last year. I want to bring up my testosterone levels. I want to be able to convert more of the DHEAS to testosterone and just kind of bring out more free testosterone. And so there's a few different natural hacks that I've been getting into to optimize that. Next goal is I'll easily listen to at least 30 Blinks using the Blinkist app. So the Blinkist app is something I got into last year. It's something that is on your phone, and you listen to like 15-minute summaries. There's written summaries and audio summaries of books. And I like it because you get a few of the core takeaways of the book. Obviously, you're not going to consume all the content of it, but it's a good supplement, a way to supplement your reading and your learning. So for example, I like to, books that I've read before or maybe read years ago, I like to listen to the summary of that just to kind of bring that back and refresh myself of what I learned from that. And it's in a very bite-sized chunk too. It's not that overwhelming. It's something that I just do when I'm driving in my car or, just trying to get somewhere. I can easily just listen to a blank and get some good content and learn some great takeaways from that. So I've got a list of 3 of the different ones that I've listened to so far this month or last month that you guys can check out. Okay, guys, moving on to my relationship ritual. I'll easily continue my monthly relationship ritual with Tatiana. This is a ritual that my girlfriend and I do every month to basically ensure that we have a great relationship. We check in on the vision that we have for a relationship, our goals. We have a bucket list for a relationship. We check in on our 6 human needs. We check in on our 5 love languages. We ask each other questions like, how can we grow this relationship? How can we give more to one another? What are you grateful for in the relationship? And just by having that ritual to work on the relationship and just not the day-to-day stuff people get caught up in has really helped us because, our relationship's never been in a bad point because of this. Because if someone's needs drop a little bit, we can quickly address it. We can quickly have a discussion and communicate that. And there's certain things that I can do. There's certain things that she can do. And that ensures our relationship is as great as it can be. So that's a ritual that we do every month. I'll probably do a more specific video on that at some point. Next, I'll easily plan a romantic experience with Tatiana once a month to create magic moments together. So January, we had a lot of magic moments in Los Angeles, as well as we went to Punta Mita in Mexico. Went primarily there for a mastermind trip, but we spent a lot of great time together there too. I'll easily connect with each member of my family at least once a month in person over the phone. So that was all over the phone for me because I'm traveling right now, but had some good connections with my family. I'll easily connect with a new friend at least once a week in person over phone and Skype. Been on track with that as I shared with you guys, I was in Mexico with 60 other inspiring entrepreneurs where we get together every year in a different part of the world and we mastermind. We have fun together, we connect, we think about how we can grow our businesses, how we can help one another. So that was a great experience. As well as in Los Angeles, I've got a few friends here that I've connected with and spent some time with as well. Lifestyle and travel goals. I'll easily do a new fun activity every month. That was for me primarily Bulletproof Labs. Excuse me. I'll easily live in Los Angeles for at least 3 months, on track with that goal. I'll easily travel throughout Europe, haven't planned that yet. Travel to Orlando for the Amazing Seller Summit, that's confirmed for April. I'll attend the Traffic and Conversion Summit, which is a big online marketing event every year in San Diego, so that's confirmed for February, end of this month. I'll travel to Whistler for an Entrepreneur Mastermind trip, so that's also confirmed, that's going to be happening in March. And I'll travel to Mexico for the Entrepreneur Mastermind, and I achieved that goal. Okay, almost done here, guys. A few more goals going into more spiritual and contribution goals. I'll listen to the Word of Promise, Old Testament and the New Testament. Haven't started that one yet. And I'll raise and fund at least $10,000 to build 3+ houses with World Housing. Haven't started that yet either. And donate $20,000 to we.org to build 2 schools in Ethiopia. Haven't started that one yet either. And volunteer, going on a volunteer trip, haven't planned that yet either as well. And then also loaning $5,000 through Kiva, which is an amazing platform I've been part of for a few years now, to loan money to different people, different parts of the world. You can help fund their projects. And haven't started that one yet either. So there's a few of those goals, and a lot of goals actually, that I haven't really started on. I break down my yearly goals into quarterly goals. So I'm pretty clear on what I want to achieve for each quarter. And then at different quarters or different times of the year, I'll be able to focus in on this goal or that goal, because there's no way you can focus on every goal simultaneously. You have to narrow down your focus, achieve a few. Once you cross those off your list, then you move on to the next goals. But overall, happy with the progress that I made for January. It was a great month. I can't believe how fast it went by. It's insane. But a lot of traveling, time in LA. I've been loving it here because the weather is amazing, especially here in the Valley. It's really hot. It's like summertime. what it'd be like in Vancouver at this time. So it's been great just kind of getting away, being in the sun, connecting with different people here. Going to Mexico was amazing as well. But yeah, just been hard at work, making progress in each area of my life. So hopefully you guys have been doing the same. Hopefully you guys have been making progress, and look forward to being able to support you guys more with your goals this year. So let me switch things back to the live chat, hear how you guys are doing. Any questions that you guys have, any challenges, whatever that might be, I'll be able to stick around for a little bit to answer some of those for you guys. I've got a pretty busy day though. I've got to film some videos to put up for you guys on YouTube pretty soon as well. But let's see what we got. Cool. So I got a comment from Mary. I found your videos a few days ago and I absolutely love you guys. You guys are both very inspiring, much needed in today's society. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. You know, for me, this is my mission in life. This is what I decided to dedicate my life to. I love, you know, growing and improving my life to be the best that I can be. And in the process, just sharing that with you guys. If you guys benefit from it, awesome. I'm so happy. You know, everything that I share with you guys are things that have made an impact in my life. So that's why I'm so passionate about what I do and sharing, you know, what I do, whether that's an online business or health or, you know, different aspects of life mastery. Opinion on the cryptocurrency market right now. This is from Pedro. My opinion is it's expected. You know, I'm not sure if you watched some of my cryptocurrency videos that I've done, but I explain how it's volatile. It's a new market. It's very immature. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go up 20%. It's going to go down 20%. There's ups and downs of it. And for me, I'm a long-term investor, as I've shared. So I don't get carried away too much with the ups and downs that much. When it's down, I buy more, which what I've been doing right now. Today it's actually down, I think by 15, 20%, 10 to 20%, including a lot of different altcoins. So I bought today. I bought over $1,000 worth of crypto today because, you know, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, short term, yeah, I mean, if you're day trading, it can affect you, but long term, a year from now, 2 years, 3 years from now, I believe that that's going to be worth a lot more than what it is right now. So expect it. If you know, one thing I said in my last video, I've got another video coming soon as well, as episode 3 of that series, is that if you panic over the ups or the downs right now, that's probably because you have more than what you should have invested in it. You know, I'm a more of a cautious investor, more conservative, and I invest majority of my assets in more secure, stable, blue chip companies and whatnot that don't really fluctuate that much, and have got a track record of 10 years, 20 years, even 100 years for some of the bank stocks that I invest in. But I have a small percentage that's in cryptocurrency that's high risk, high reward. So you just got to know that going in. But, you know, I look forward to, right now, actually the markets are down too. Like right now, you know, the US market and Canadian stock market are down right now as well. I bought stocks today, you know, so I look forward to different corrections like that. Richard says, Stefan, do you still recommend starting with Kindle publishing to get to my first 10K per month in my business? You know, Richard, that depends on what, you know, I'd have to know more about what you want, what you're trying to accomplish. You can achieve 10K a month in many different online business models. And each online business model is going to have a different purpose and benefit for it. Kindle publishing is great for those that don't have much money to start with, that don't have much experience, that you know, want to make money relatively fast compared to other business models out there. But so it's great from that regard. You know, many people that I know start with that, achieve 10,000 a month. But there's other business models too. You know, there's Amazon FBA. That's going to take longer. It's going to cost more money, but that's also another great business model. Affiliate marketing is great as well. Not much investment started it. Does take longer. So it depends on all those different factors. There's no right or wrong. You know, you can make money in any business model out there that you want. People have already done it before, so you can as well. I recommend Kindle publishing, which is great, but it really depends on what your mission is as well. That's why I've got this quiz that I created. There's a link to it in the description. If you go to projectlifemastery.com/quiz, I put together that to help you determine which online business model is right for you. Because maybe, for example, everyone has a different why. Maybe you're the type of person that wants to, be the face of your product, and maybe YouTube is better for you, and blogging. Maybe you're not that kind of person. You want to be more behind the scenes. Maybe you're a great writer. Maybe you're a great communicator. There's so many different factors that go into deciding which online business that would be the best for you. And I often say that whatever is the one that you believe in the most and you're actually going to do and take action with is the one that you should do. Right? So I could try to convince you that you should do publishing, you should do Amazon, you should do affiliate marketing, but if you don't believe in it, if you're not confident, motivated, excited, then it can work for you, but if you're not going to do the work, it's not going to work for you. If you're not going to be motivated to commit yourself to it for the next year and go through the ups and downs of that and go through the failures and the learning curve and all those sort of things, then that's going to make the biggest difference. So whatever is the one that you're going to be committed to is the one that you should do. That's oftentimes the advice, because you can make money from all of them, and I have, and many people have as well. Question is, I'm struggling financially and I'm trying to start with digesting my credit card expenses. Should I take the last 6 months after I have the numbers month to month? How should I continue? I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, but yes, you should, if you're got a lot of credit card debt, you got to get that under control. You're probably paying a very high interest rate on that credit card debt, and that's very challenging. One thing I look at doing is doing a balance transfer. So finding like a low interest credit card, transferring your balance to that low interest credit card. When I was in credit card debt many years ago, I found low interest credit cards that would have like 0.5% or even 0% interest for the first year. And then after that, the interest would go up to 19%. But I could transfer my balance to that and not pay interest and be able to pay off that credit card without having to deal with the interest rates. But that's something that's obviously going to hold you back financially. You've got to get your mindset around money sorted, as well as your habits around it. Because if you don't solve that, then you're just going to continue making the same mistakes and dig yourself an even deeper hole. And also, you got to learn how to make money. You got to learn how to create more value, because oftentimes some people like us, talking to Dan Lockett about this, at one point he was, I forget how much money in debt, like $50,000 or something like that. It would take him 20 years to pay that off. So he had no other choice but to build an online business and make money to be able to pay off that debt. Otherwise, at the rate of how he was going based on his current financial situation and income at the time, it would take him 20 years. So at a certain point, some of the best ways to get out of debt is learning how to make money. Hey, Stefan, do you have any advice for people who feel like they're not moving forward in their life because they do not know what they want and what makes them happy? How do you find out what you want? That's a self-discovery process. It's different for everyone. It takes time. Part of it is just deciding what you want and saying, this is what I want right now. And that's okay. If it changes a month from now, a week from now, a year from now, that's okay. It probably will. For me, when I was younger, I wanted to be a promoter, a club promoter at one point. And I did that for a little bit. I didn't want to do that. And then I wanted to be an architect, and because I was good at drafting when I was in high school. Did that for a little bit, then I changed my mind. That's okay. It's like people think that they have to have it written in stone or something like that. I was a life and dating coach at one point for a few years, did that for a few years, and then I changed my mind. I wanted to do something else. So that's a natural thing. Human beings, we're always dynamic and evolving in those ways. Just identify what is something that you want right now with your life. Maybe it's just to travel. Maybe it's to have fun and go out and party. Maybe it's to, read and learn, or maybe it's to go out to meet people, or whatever that is. Just find out what that is for you, commit yourself to it, and as you're going along the journey, that will change you'll discover more of what you want. So that's just a never-ending process. You know, you don't need that though to start. Just move your feet, man. Just get moving and start doing stuff, and that's going to help you identify more of what's going to resonate with you, what you're going to enjoy, and what you're going to get excited for. So that's just a process. Someone says, have you invested in cryptocurrency yourself? Yes, I've got videos on that. I even showed, and the last 2 videos in my cryptocurrency series, a little bit about just, I showed you the wallets that I use, the exchanges, and a little bit about how much I have there too. Philippia says, hi Stefan, I've been following you since 2012. I'm amazed by your growth in this period. If you're struggling in life at this point of your life, where would you start? You know, I believe something that I've always done, which is just self-growth. You know, going to seminars, going to events, hiring coaches, mentors, reading books. That's always where you start, you know, in my opinion, because that helps you learn more about yourself, helps you change your beliefs, your mindset, and you know, that's what I started when I was 17 years old. And that's been the consistent thing I've done since that time that has allowed me to get to where I'm at today. As the years have gone by, I've just invested more and more into myself, and I take action, I implement what I learn. And it's just the process of that. It's not that complex, guys. It's really not that hard. Everything that I share with you guys that I recommend for you guys to do, I do. You know, if I share something or a course or a product, it's because I've bought it, I've invested in it, I've used it, it's enhanced my life, and then I want to share that with you guys as well. So, you know, just constant growth, constantly investing in yourself, learning, becoming better and better and better in every facet of your life. You know, there's a compounding effect that occurs. And, you know, that's what's been the case for me, is everything just compounds and gets better and better and better as time goes on. What is your why in life? Why do you do what you do every single day? What is the end goal? So for me, my why is to grow and to give. That's my mission, my purpose. Many of you guys have heard my mission statement, which is the mission of my life is to grow and be the best that I can be, to be more fully alive and make a difference in the lives of others. So that's what I'm obsessed with. That's why I started Project Life Mastery. I love to grow. It's my passion. I want to improve every aspect of my life. And the process of mastery is never ending. It's not like you say, oh, I've mastered it. I've, you know, made it now and I don't need to grow, because that's the beginning of the end. So for me, I love to grow. You know, growth is a need that as human beings we all have that makes us feel more alive when we feel like we're growing. If we're stagnant, we're not moving forward. You know, as the saying goes, if you're not growing, then you're dying. So for me, I just love constantly improving myself, but my why, my purpose for that has changed over the years, because at first it was just for me, but now when I learn and grow, I think about how I can share this with others or how I can use this to impact someone else's life. And I'm in a situation in my life now, but also in the last few years, where I get a lot of love doing what I do. You know, I mean, I go to a coffee shop, I go to the mall, I got people that will approach me. You know, even just the other day, I ordered, you know, from Uber Eats, and the guy's, oh, hey, you're Stefan James. I ordered like a healthy salad and burrito. And I get recognized all the time, but I get so much love from that, and especially online as well. It's like, how can I not be more motivated to do what I do? You know, when you're getting rewarded in that way with so much love and support and acknowledgement, and, you know, I hear about how people are, you know, changing their life and the impact that I'm making. I mean, I've got the best job in the world. You know, it doesn't really feel like a job, and it feels like a mission and a purpose, something that gives me so much joy and fulfillment, because I know what I do matters and that a lot of people need it. And, you know, I'm not for everybody, I don't believe so, but, you know, there's a percentage of people out there that, you know, are getting benefit and value from what I do. So that's my why. That's what lights me up. That's what excites me. Toby says, it often seems like successful people are working 24/7. I can only work like 10 to 12 hours a day at most over a long period of time, Sundays off. Do you think I should try to improve my energy levels? You know, Toby, there's been definitely times in my life where I've had to work, you know, not 24/7, but, you know, I've had to work 16 hours in a day. Thomas Edison was known for, you know, might be worth studying him because he was known for also working like 18 hours a day. He was known for like 3 days in a row. Thomas Edison stayed up working without sleep. Like he was just to the extreme. And I remember an interview, actually, let me pull this up for you guys. I'm going to read it. I got this in Evernote because it really motivated me. So I'm going to read you guys something about Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb and many other inventions. Let's see. So, so there's a book called How They Succeeded, Life Stories of Successful Men and Women Told by Themselves. And this was a book that was published in 1901. And this person, the author, reveals Thomas Edison's work habits. And there's an interview with Thomas Edison in it. And he describes in it that he worked. So the person asked, "Do you have regular hours, Mr. Edison?" And he said, "Oh," he said, "I do not work hard now. I come to the laboratory about 8 o'clock every day and go home to tea at 6, and then I study or work on some problem until 11, which is my hour for bed. 14 of 15 hours a day can scarcely be called loafing," I suggested. "For 15 years, I've worked an average of 20 hours a day." He says when he was 47 years old, he estimated his true age at 82, since working only 8 hours a day would have taken till that time. Mr. Edison sometimes worked 60 consecutive hours upon one problem. Then, after a long sleep, he was perfectly refreshed and ready for another. So you'd spend 60 hours straight without sleep working on a specific problem. So one of the questions was, what makes you work? What impels you to this constant, tireless struggle? You have shown that you care comparatively nothing for the money it makes you, and you have no particular enthusiasm for attending fame. What is it? And his response was, "I like it." He says, "I don't know any other reason. Anything I've begun is always on my mind, and I'm not easy while away from it until it is finished, and then I hate it." He says, "When it is all done and it is a success, I can't bear the sight of it. I haven't used a telephone in 10 years, and I'd go to my way any day to miss." And anyways, it goes on and on. But there's people out there like him that work those extreme hours. But the response is interesting when you study his psychology, his mindset, is he loves it. He loves to work. And based on your question, you know, I would ask you, do you love what you're doing? Like for me, it doesn't feel like I work. And the most successful people that I know of don't really feel like they're working either because they love what they're doing. They get energy from what they do. It's almost like a hobby that you might have or something you just love so much. You know, the time disappears when you're doing it. You're not keeping track of the clock. You know, I noticed like when I had my 9-to-5 job, I spent the whole day just looking at the clock, thinking about, you know, what I was going to do that evening, what I was going to do that weekend, just trying to distract myself and have time go by. That's not an efficient use of your time. You should be spending your time. If you're going to spend a third of your life or more working, make sure you're doing something that you love, that fulfills you and gives you energy. I think that's the key thing. And if it does give you energy, then it could be 12 hours, it could be more, it could be less. But it's not something that feels like work, and it's something that fills you up. So that's my advice with that. You know, it might take you time to find that, but once you do, man, your life will go to a whole new level. Okay, guys, I'll answer a few more questions before I got to go. Someone said, what books do you recommend? I actually did a video and a blog post that shared books that I recommend, so you guys can find that on my channel. And it really depends on what you're focused on in your life. I could recommend business books to you. I could recommend health books. Some business books I might recommend to you might not even benefit you because it might be more high-level business books versus someone who's a more beginner. So it depends on many different factors. But I did a good list of books that I recommend. That's on the blog, and that's also on YouTube. Okay, guys, I'll pick one more question. I'm trying to pick something that can benefit everyone here. Let's see. Okay, so here's one from Emmy. She says, I'm an actress and model, and your videos have helped me a lot with goal setting and viewing failure as a positive. What are your, number one, what are your favorite affirmations? So my favorite affirmations, I actually have back at home a whole stack of cards of inspiring quotes, things from people that I look up to, as well as affirmations. And I have this whole stack of them, and as part of my morning ritual, I read them out loud as affirmations, just to try to fill my mind up with it. But my favorite affirmations are mostly around my mission statements and I call them my power virtues. So it's a simple affirmation which goes, I, Stefan, see, know, hear, and feel that the purpose of my life is to be even more fully alive, grow, and make a difference in the lives of others. Okay, so I say it as a phrase like that. That's my mission statement. But I can also say that for anything that I want. So let's say I want more confidence, I want more passion, I want more happiness, more love. I'll say, I, Stefan, see, know, hear, and feel that I am confident. Or I, Stefan, see, know, hear, and feel that I am grateful. So that's one of my favorite affirmations, is just using that sequence, that language. And I say that every single day, and whatever I need for that day, I'll optimize my affirmations around. And then the second question that you had was, what do you do when you get off track from your goals? Just get back on track. I have systems to make sure that I don't get off track. You got to understand it's normal to get off track. You know, when an airplane is going from Los Angeles to Hawaii, it's off track most of the time. It's constantly course correcting. And that's the process of goal setting. When you say that you want to achieve this, you set your goals, you have to have a system, a ritual every week, every 2 weeks, every month to constantly get back on track with your goals. Now, I'm not sure if you're inside the Life Mastery Accelerator. Highly recommend that you join that program of mine. It's fairly inexpensive, but I just did a really in-depth training that went into consistency, staying on track with your goals, and how to take lasting action. So if you struggle with procrastination, laziness, getting off track, not being consistent, you're consistent for a while and then you get off track, you beat yourself up. I've been there. I feel like I've solved that now once and for all in my life. But what I share, the different strategies, I've got 10 different strategies that I recently went through that will help make sure that you are consistent and you follow through with your goals. So that will help you out a lot, but you've got to have a system for it. Otherwise, when you do get off track, it's normal, but you just got to quickly get yourself back on track. You can't get to the point where you get off track, you're trying to follow this diet and you have a craving and you eat poor food, or you go on vacation, you get off track, and then you say to yourself, well, it's over, I've screwed it up, you beat yourself up over it and you give up. That's what you don't want to do. That's what happens to so many people. So you got to make sure you have a system so it doesn't get to that point, so that when you do get off track, it's very minimal and just get yourself back moving right, on top of it again. Okay, guys, I got to wrap it up. I've got more to do today, but I want to thank you guys so much for joining in. The biggest message for today, guys, is just make sure that you guys are on track with your goals. Make sure that you are following through, taking massive action. Hopefully I can inspire you guys a little bit with this video. And, just by me sharing with you guys what I'm up to in my life can inspire you guys as well to really go for it 100%. So thank you guys. Love you guys so much. Thank you for your support, for being a subscriber of my channel. And again, a lot of things I mentioned are in the blog post, so you can find the link to that in the description of this video. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you guys again soon in another video or another live stream. Take care.